Mom? How much is my life worth?
Well, that's a big question. Hold that thought. Take this stone and find out how much it's worth. And when you're done, return home. I'll answer that special question for you.
Mom!
TJ, what did you discover?
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me how much this is worth?
I don't know, little man. I'll give you a banana for it.
Excuse me, sir. How much would the museum pay for this stone?
I love your enthusiasm, kid, but we don't need one of these in our collection now. Thank you, though.
This gem you have here is the most perfect gem I've ever seen. I can't imagine its value. To me, it appears priceless.
How much is it actually worth? And what does it have to do with the value of my life?
People will value you based on their point of view, their level of information, and their belief in you. But that doesn't change the fact that you are priceless. Remember, surround yourself with people who value you, just like the jeweler valued that gem, with love, care, and affection. Because, baby, you are truly priceless.
Good evening. Welcome to our November 27th regularly scheduled board meeting. We will have coming up our inspiration, but before we do that, I do want to ask us to pause for a moment of silence in honor of our former First Lady, Rosalind Carter, who passed away from Georgia, as we all know. From the great city of Plains, if we would just have a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And now our inspiration, Ms. McCrae.
Good evening. I don't have anything big to show tonight, but what I wanted to share was a thought that my minister preached on yesterday, and that was the idea of coming off of Thanksgiving, how important it is for us to have a weekly mini day of thanks, whether or not you call it Sabbath or something else, how important it is to pause at least once a week and look around at all that you have to be thankful for, and the many blessings in your life, and to kind of catch your breath for a moment too. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And now we will welcome our Dorothy Height Elementary School students to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance and character word. Pledge of Allegiance.
You may now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Citizenship is the way you act as a responsible member of society. 'Cause you don't want to mess with the Huskies. Oh, no. Take it easy. Take it slow. 'Cause you don't want to mess with the Huskies. Oh, no. Take it easy. Take it slow. 'Cause you don't want to mess with the Huskies. Oh, no. One, two. Go Huskies!
Wait.
Go back. You gotta introduce yourself.
My name is Zaya, and I'm in 5th grade. I want to thank my coaches and my teammates. My name is Jalen. I'm in the 3rd grade, and my teacher name is Miss Stafford, and I just want to thank Miss Harrison and Miss Brown.
My name is Aja. I'm in the 5th grade. My homeroom teacher name is Mr. Keys.
My name is Nakaya, and I'm in 3rd grade, and I love Miss Harrison.
My name is Zamoria. I'm in the 5th grade, and my homeroom teacher is Miss Sullivan.
My name is Sanaya. I'm in the 5th grade, and my homeroom teacher is Miss Sullivan, and I want to thank both of my coaches, Miss Brown and Miss Harrison. My name is Kiara, and I'm in 5th grade, and my homeroom teacher is Miss Wiley. My name is A Miracle. I'm in 3rd grade. My teacher name is Miss Stafford. My name is Cassidy Jackson. I'm in 5th grade, and my teacher is Miss Watley, and I want to thank my coach, Miss Harrison, and Miss Brown. My name is Naomi Thomas, and I'm in the 4th grade, and my teacher name is Miss McVeigh, and I want to thank both of my coaches because they do really good. My name is Zariah. I'm in 4th grade, and my teacher name is Miss God, and I want to thank my coaches. My name is Talia, and I'm in the 5th grade, and my teacher name is Miss Sullivan. My name is India Harris. I'm in the 4th grade. My teacher name is Matt Vate, and I want to thank my coaches.
My name is Denaja, and I'm in the 5th grade, and my homeroom teacher is Mr. Keys, and I want to thank both of my coaches for helping me know how to cheer.
This down here.
My name is Jemiah, and I'm in 3rd grade, and my teacher name is Tappan.
My name is Elani. I'm in 4th grade, and my teacher name is Miss Wolf.
All right. And the principal is Miss Meredith, and your team with you.
Yes. Our assistant principal, Dr. Moore, our 2 cheer coaches, and I will say they do give a lot of time to these girls, and I appreciate that. Miss Harrison and Miss Brown, and our academic coach, Miss Hardy. And thank you, parents, for getting them here and supporting our cheerleaders, because I know they do a lot, and it shows, and they're awesome, and I think they're awesome, and I appreciate y'all being here.
All right, parents, stand so we can recognize you. All the parents and supporters, thank you so very much. Good job, cheerleaders. Way to go, cheering us up. So everybody's here. I need a motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Ms. Chambers, second by Ms. Jackson. All in favor, raise your hand. Agenda passes. And want to recognize our visitors. So I know we have Leadership Columbus. If you would just stand or wave. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you being here. Any principals or anyone from leadership team from the schools? Sorry, Mr. Richburg and Miss Allen, thank you so much. And Alan Rickner from our library system. Marianne Rickner and Alan Harkness from our library and museum. Thank you so much for always joining us, and all of you are special. Thank you so much for being here. All right, we will go to our district recognitions.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I would like to start our recognitions tonight by honoring Reese Road Leadership Academy, and Miss Christine Hull will do so. Miss Christine.
Good evening. Christine Hull, Executive Director of Pre-K through 12 Curriculum and Instruction. And it is my distinct honor and privilege to recognize Reese Road Leadership Academy tonight for an incredible achievement. Reese Road Leadership Academy has met and succeeded the criteria to become nationally certified by Magnet Schools of America. They will also be recognized at the Magnet Schools of America National Conference in April. Reese Road Leadership Academy is one of only 7 schools to be MSA certified in the state of Georgia, and only one of 3 elementary schools in the state to hold this distinguished national designation. They have established and promoted the MSA standards of excellence in their school and fulfilled their commitment to their community stakeholders to provide high-quality, innovative curriculum and instructional programs that promote choice, equity, diversity, and academic excellence for all students. Being recognized as a nationally certified magnet school is a tremendous honor and accomplishment, and the Reese Road Leadership Academy team has worked diligently over several years to become one of the most exemplary magnet schools in the nation. The Muscogee County School District is proud of the Reese Road Leadership Academy faculty and staff for obtaining this high honor and upholding the 5 pillars of Magnet Schools of America to provide quality magnet programming for all students in their school. And having been with them at the beginning of this journey and seen how much effort and hard work they've put into this process, we just want to say thank you for all that you have done for your students, for your community, for earning this designation as a Magnet School of America. This will open several doors for Reese Road to be able to apply for grants, opportunities. So we're very excited to see what they're going to do in the future, and as they lead the way for other Muscogee County School District schools to also obtain national certification. Congratulations, Principal Katrina Long. And Ms. Long, if you would like to say a few words, introduce your staff.
Absolutely. Good evening. And thank you so much for recognizing the hard work that our team has put into getting the national certification from Magnet Schools of America. It would not be without the support of our esteemed superintendent, our region chief, and our teaching and learning department with Christine Hull and Mr. Keith Seifert. So we appreciate your support. Our team includes Ms. Thibault, our proud assistant principal, Ms. Woods, our 5th grade lead, Ms. McNeil, our 4th grade lead, Ms. Boland, our 2nd grade lead, Ms. Bullock, our 3rd grade lead, Dr. BJ, our counselor, Ms. Hood, our academic coach, and Mrs. Davison, our learning specialist. It takes a village, it takes a team, and I am truly, truly proud to be able to work alongside our colleagues who put in the dedication, the time, the hard work, the research in order for us to gain this accolade. So thank you very much, and thank you all for the recognition this evening.
Congratulations, team. Also want to say, because of, it takes leadership,
right.
And so we want to thank you for your leadership excellence that you expect and demand and that you demonstrate. And so congratulations to the entire team and those teachers who are not here as well. And so I just want to say I'm so proud. Chest poked out proud.
And I just want to say thank you for accepting the challenge that we put into place a few years back to review all of our magnet programs and to really put them in. For those who may not know, Magnet Schools of America is an organization that does that. It evaluates and assesses magnet schools throughout the country. And they have to meet certain very high criteria in order to be designated as an MSA school. And Reese Road stepped up and was one of the first schools to start the process. It's about a 3 or 4 year process.
Yeah,
it's a very intense process, lots of work to be done. We have several other schools that are considering this and working through the process themselves, because we are continually reviewing our magnet programs to make sure they're meeting the needs of our students and our community. And so we really appreciate the fact that Reese Road is taking this step forward. Appreciate your leadership and all that you're doing on behalf of our students. Thank you.
Lead the way. Congratulations. Group photo.
Oh, wait, yep. Here you go, ladies. Great job. Congratulations.
Our next recognition, congratulations to the 2023 Aspire Award recipients. On October 2023, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 2023 Aspire Awards were presented by the American Association of Adapt Ed Sports Programs. 2 of our own Muscogee Lions were recipients. Dominic Epps, Male Athlete of the Year, Spencer High School, Class of 2022. Dominique played for the Lions for 5 years and played handball, basketball, and football. Caleb Marican, who was unable to attend tonight, was the Power Chair Athlete of the Year. He's a sophomore from Columbus High School. Caleb has played for the Lions for 7 years and plays handball and football. Again, congratulations to the 2023 Aspire Award recipients.
Congratulations, sir.
You know, it's my first time doing one of these, so I'm kind of nervous. Me playing adult sports, it was kind of challenging at first, me getting to know how to be in a wheelchair, even though I'm not physically in one. Playing adult sports, you know, it taught me how to lead other students that are younger than me while trying to grow up myself. On the behalf of Coach Ingram and them, I would like to say thank you for the amazing 5 years that I have played, and hopefully in college I can pursue the same thing.
Good job. Any supporters here? Mom? Okay. Thank you, Mom.
We are congratulating the Northside High Patriots softball team tonight.
Woo-hoo.
The Northside High Patriots softball team finished the 2023 season with an overall record of 29-7. They finished as Region 3-5 champions with an 11-1 record in region play. For the second consecutive year, they went undefeated in the state playoffs with a 6-0 record, on their way to becoming the only softball team in Muscogee County history to win back-to-back championships.
Woo!
Northside has now played for 3 consecutive state championships and played for the state championships in 6 out of the last 8 seasons. Since 2015, 7 region championships, 8 elite appearances, and 3 state championships. Congratulations to the Northside High School.
Congratulations to the Northside Patriots.
Yes.
Say, put some respect on our name. Northside Patriots. Congratulations.
Northside Patriots. My apologies. I'm so sorry.
My name is Bailey Prescott. I'm a senior and a pitcher.
My name is Bailey Davis. I'm a junior and I play shortstop. My name is L'Oreal Bird. I'm a junior and I'm a left fielder.
My name is Gracie Conkle. I'm a junior and I'm a catcher.
My name is Layla Stubbs. I'm a junior and I'm outfield.
My name is Maya Shemansky. I'm a junior and I play first.
My name is Harper Bray. I'm a junior and I play infield.
My name is Abby Lovell. I'm a junior and I'm a pitcher.
My name is Addie Renner. I'm a sophomore and I play outfield.
My name is Lacey Martinez. I'm a sophomore and I play outfield.
My name is Reagan Bascom. I'm a sophomore and I play outfield.
My name is Marley Williams. I'm a sophomore and I play second base.
My name is Weatherly Ridley and I'm a sophomore and I'm a pitcher.
My name is Kylie Freely. I'm a sophomore and I'm an infielder.
My name is Cassidy Anderson. I'm a freshman and I'm a utility player.
My name is Carson Ellenberg. I'm a freshman and I'm catcher.
My name is Taryn Stringfellow. I'm a freshman and I play outfield.
My name is Alina Rios. I'm a freshman and I play outfield.
Chad Dean, assistant coach. Bennett Wilson, assistant coach.
Sydney Carastory, assistant coach.
Keisha Wilson, assistant coach.
Shara Riles, assistant coach.
And Brandon Jenkins, head coach.
All right.
And we just want to say thank you to the school board and thank you, Dr. Lewis. Thank you to our countywide athletic director, Jeff Battles, our principal, Marty Richburg, and all our parents, of course, for everything you do. But without y'all, we couldn't do what we do. So thank you for the support. Thank you for always being there for us and coming to the games. We really appreciate it.
All right, parents stand, parents and supporters. They drove themselves. Okay. Good job. Congratulations. It sounds like you're going back to the championship, Coach. I heard all the juniors and sophomores.
Freshmen.
That's outstanding, ladies. Congratulations. We are very proud. Very proud. Ms. Buckman.
Oh, I like this. I might as well sing y'all song since you rap.
I was going to say, I know y'all know how to do that.
Can you get the coaches in there too, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Ms. Green,
Ms. Buckman.
I have one question for the coach. Yes. Those accolades, when I was reading about your team, your accolades extended over, I think they said 8 years on the, so were you the same, are you the coach, have you been there 8 years or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I took over in 2013 was my first year.
Okay, very good.
Congratulations.
Congratulate the team and congratulate the coach, because we know how important a coach is to a team. As I look at college football and national football, we know what a coach is to a team, so congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the hard work.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Coach. Great job.
They'll be back next year.
Congratulations are in order for Columbus High School GHSA 3A Girls Cross Country. Congratulations to the Columbus High School Girls Cross Country for placing second in the GHSA 3A Girls State Championship Team competition with 84 points. In the individual competition, Alina Gilbert, a junior, finished second place in the 3A Girls Cross Country with a time of 20 minutes and 20 seconds. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Amelia Hurd, and I'm a junior.
Hello, I'm Sarah Takagi. I'm a senior.
Hello, I'm Maya Thomas. I'm a senior.
My name is Layla Albright. I'm a senior and the captain.
Danielle McCoy, and I'm the head coach.
Outstanding. Congratulations. Any parents or supporters? Thank you all so much for everything that you do. Congratulations so much.
I now yield to Mr. Corey Neal to present the Power of We Award.
Good evening, good evening. The November Power of We Award for 2023 recipient is none other than Ms. Hilda Goodwin, School Nutrition Manager for Georgetown Elementary School. The write-up goes as such: Ms. Goodwin embraces equity and diversity by providing equitable working environment through her leadership for all genders and ethnic groups. She is very fair and treats everyone very respectfully. She could actually teach a professional development on equity and diversity because she lives it every day of her life. She personifies high standards by leading by example. She's always at work and never takes off. And as a cafeteria manager, she's willing to jump in and assist where and when necessary. She never compromises on food quality, and that is very evident by the long line of teachers and staff that dine in the cafeteria daily. During the pandemic, Georgetown did not miss a beat. While several cafeterias were struggling with personnel shortages, Georgetown had no issue. This speaks volume of the leadership and the commitment to the training of her staff and creating an atmosphere that's conducive to success. Treating everyone with dignity and respect became very transparent when we had all 5 of our culinary workers return back for the next school year. Ms. Goodwin is like a mother figure, treating everyone with love and kindness. She has a way of ensuring that when she speaks, it's always dignified and respectful. She shows respect for others and always has a smile for everyone. Serving the needs of others is what she does best. Many eat in our cafeteria daily because she cares about others and is concerned that she puts her best foot forward. The food quality is excellent, and I mean it's excellent each and every day. Ms. Goodwin and her staff are to be congratulated on a job well done every day. She's a servant leader and is unselfish in her daily duties. In my humble opinion, she is the best cafeteria manager in the Muscogee County School District. Submitted by Dr. Michael Forte, Supervisor Eddie Kroll, Area School Nutrition Manager, and Chief Dr. Travis Anderson. Let us once again celebrate Ms. Hilda Goodwin.
Congratulations. Congratulations so much. Thank you for all that you do. If we can get you the microphone, if you would have a word. And so the Georgetown family is here, right? Okay. The nutrition division is here. Thank you all so much for the support, and we appreciate the excellent job that you do for our students. And that concludes the district-wide recognitions. So let's see, we got a video.
Thank you for your support. As we continue to focus on providing spaces and technology needed to support the modern learning and co-curricular experience, Muscogee County School District has made some big changes throughout their entire district.
Technology opens the door for endless opportunities of learning. Students are able to play games while mastering skills, visually see what has been created by their teachers for mastery of standards, and research important topics to ensure learning is created.
Along with updating student and teacher technology, we are updating the physical space for many of our older schools. A brand new elementary school is under construction to replace Dawson and St. Mary's Elementary Schools.
And another thing that makes this school amazing is the new technology that they're bringing in, you know, the computers and other things, so we can see more stuff and do more things with the technology.
Arnold Middle School will undergo a major modernization project, which will transform the campus, adding new state-of-the-art learning spaces, a new gym, and athletic fields.
Hello, we're at Arnold Magnet Academy, where our school was built in the late 1950s, and it is going to be modernized beginning this summer. Large project. We're at the site of our new STEAM lab, so that we can provide a nice big space for students to get into the 21st century learning.
Matthews Elementary School will start the 23-24 school year with a new 4-classroom addition to support that growing community. But that's not all. New projects at Hardaway and Kendrick High Schools will update their front entrances and administrative areas. You won't recognize them when we're done. High school weight rooms have been expanded and updated to support student athletes. And Otis Spencer Stadium is now open and hosting games in the state-of-the-art facility.
Otis Spencer Stadium is very beautiful, and when you walk in, it's very big and professional, and it makes you excited to play there. And it makes you very nervous to start playing, but once you start playing, it's very fun.
If you haven't seen Jordan recently, you may not recognize it. The transformation to Jordan Vocational High School College and Career Academy is a true collaboration to bring cutting-edge programs, technology, and equipment to ensure students are ready for whatever they choose to do after high school. Muscogee County School District is committed to supporting the whole child in and outside of the classroom, but we could not do it without your support. For details about the exciting projects happening throughout the district, check out the district's website. Thank you for your support.
Good evening. I am Travis Anderson, the Chief Operations Officer for the school district, and I'm excited to stand before you with a group of people who have worked really hard to plan and to execute our 2020 eSplash. So tonight we're going to review for you any moment now on the screen. There we go. We have an update. As you know, the eSplash is designed to provide support to learn, room to learn, and ways to learn. These are the projects that we identified through a collaborative effort with our community, as well as our administrators and teachers throughout the school district, the things that we needed to address for the 2020 eSplash. We have a very exhaustive list, and we are proud to say that many of those items have been accomplished or are on the way, and we want to give you an update on where we are so you understand exactly where your tax dollars are going. I'll turn it over to Ward Odom.
Good evening, Ward Odom, Senior Director of Plant Service and Construction. We're going to go through a few completed projects. We had the Columbus High interior exterior renovations. There's the front steps and the courtyard fencing. Some interior, the stairwell flooring in the media center. At Jordan High School, the upgrades, we had the front lobby. We had the media center, a lot of changes in the media center. ADA access improvements for the parking lot and the front entrance. CTA programs that we have, the culinary and the kitchen there. We have automotive portions. There's some more automotive. CTA in the metal shop. The gym has new bleachers, LED lighting, new paint. Matthews 4 classroom addition. There's the little ribbon cutting ceremony in the 4 classroom from the exterior. Otis Spencer multi-sport athletic complex. Beautiful complex there. We got a lot of compliments on that. There's the ribbon cutting ceremony we had. Veterans Middle School upgrades. There's the secure vestibule up front, the media center. The gym, also painting with LED lights. The band room expansion that took place, the core room and band room. This is veterans, right here, veterans, yes sir. Veterans Middle, yes sir. Renovations and modifications that we've had, Brewer Elementary School upgrades. You see the floor and the LED lighting. The gym renovation with paint, it's beautiful. Davis Elementary School, their secure vestibule, the hallways, the floor. I always think of Easter. I want to say that every time. They have beautiful pastel colors out there. Davis Elementary School, again, we have the kitchen area, the cafeteria. LED lighting took place in there. Key Elementary, the media center, and the secure vestibule up front. Lonnie Jackson Elementary School, we had the steps, the bathroom flooring, LED lights. Rothschild Middle School, the secure vestibule that took place up front. Rothschild Middle School as well with the paint stripes and continuing on with the secure vestibule, and you see the bathroom flooring there on your right picture. HVAC upgrades that we've had, Hannon, Jordan, and Kendrick have had HVAC upgrades. These are some of the equipment that we have at each: cooling towers and ceiling cartridges, package units, and wall hung units. Then we have school nutrition equipment upgrades. These are the food prep, service, and cleaning equipment at all those locations there. We have had the Shaw High School and Matthews Elementary cooler freezer projects, beautiful cooler and freezers out there, good replacement. Athletic upgrades, Carver weight room expansion. We've had the Columbus weight room expansion and the Northside weight room expansion. Baker Athletic Fields, you can see the new sod, the new bleachers, scoreboards. East Columbus, the same there. Rothschild Athletic Field upgrades. We had to correct some ADA pass down. That's stairwell to the bleachers, and the sod and the scoreboard. Middle school gyms. These are where all the middle school gyms have been replaced. Richards, here's an example of what some of the bleachers look like inside and then the new paint that you have. East Columbus, again, the new bleachers, and then the scoreboard that we have there. Connect Stadium upgrade, we went to the LED lights and then the scoreboard that's both at Connect and the new stadium, same scoreboard. Active and ongoing construction projects, Arnold Middle School modernization. That is the new gym, is stood about 2 weeks ago. It's looking good out there. Arnold admin area, this is the new front office, and the furniture and the paint is just complete renovation, complete change there. The Mary A. Buckner Academy opening 2024, August of 2024. That's where the building is located in the yellow and the old Dawson School to the top left. This is the rendering of the front. And this is a picture of the front right to the rendering where we stand right now. A lot of the brick facade is going on, so it's coming along very wonderfully out there. It's the rendering of the back of the school where the bus loop and going to the cafeteria and the gym. Then they got the Kendrick and Hardaway additions and upgrades. We're getting ready for the GMP, but here are some renderings that are taking place. This is what the front of Hardaway will look like, being pulled out with the front office area. This is the Kendrick rendering, also with the front office out there in the front of the school. Brewer HVAC upgrade, estimated to be completed in 2024. They're going to be a cooling tower school with some of the units that you see here. Playgrounds, the 10-year replacement cycle that we have on playgrounds, and these are the locations that we received playgrounds. All those schools are receiving those exact playgrounds. It's wonderful new equipment that we have. Ongoing athletic upgrades, middle school athletic field upgrades phase 2, which was at Eddie, Richards, and Veterans. Eddie has already got the sod down. Richards is the sprinkler and getting ready for sod, and Veterans is getting ready to get started. High school gyms, we have Jordan, Kendrick, and Shaw. And then the phase 3 athletic projects in the bid phase. Phase 3, Aaron Cone, Blackman Road, and Double Churches. And then phase 4 over at Fort and Midland. Then we have additional construction projects that we're working on across the district, the security vestibules, the Columbus Museum addition, and South Columbus Library expansion. And we're going to turn it back over to Dr. Anderson for our technology project updates.
So we have a number of technology projects happening throughout the district. Right now, we are excited to announce that one of the projects is 100% complete, and that is updating our classrooms and our meeting spaces to be classrooms of tomorrow. They have the technology to do the digital presentations and to support the students interacting with their Chromebooks and their teachers. So we're really excited that project is 100% complete. We are still working on another project that will be completed around spring 2025, and that is updating our network infrastructure. This is something that we'll always have to do. We always will have to continue to update our network infrastructure to make sure that we're able to support our technology as well as to remain safe with our cybersecurity. We are still working on our end-user device solution. We can expect that to be completed winter 2024. So the computer refresh, we want to make sure that all of our students and teachers are using devices that are up to date and current. So we continue to do that, and we're about 75% complete with that project. Safety and security, as we look to our enhancements with our video surveillance, we are actively working on that project, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that project entails in its entirety, but we are 15% complete with that. So this is a project that is ongoing, and it's in its early phases, but we have a plan to get that done by fall 2025. So that is our 2020 eSplash and what we were able to do overall. We had active projects, right? We've been very, very busy. However, we know that since that campaign, several things have happened in our community. We know that throughout the entire world, we've experienced rapid inflation. And because of that, that has impacted how we were able to complete some of our projects. We've been very strategic with that, but we have to realize that inflation was not expected in 2020 that we're experiencing now. So that significantly impacted our ability to do some of the projects, as well as material delays. when COVID hit and how it impacted our supply chain throughout the world was just unexpected. And so that has had a significant impact on our projects, and we've had to make some adjustments for that. And then also some regulatory changes that we were not aware that were happening. They happened, and they significantly impact our ability to complete some projects as planned. So as we look at the projects and how we decided as administration to respond to those challenges, we were able to leverage our ESSER funding when it was applicable. And of course, our ESSER funding is the funding that we received as a result of COVID and is something from the federal government. It came with stipulations, and so not all projects could be funded through ESSER, but those projects that were initially planned to be spent with eSplosh dollars that could qualify for ESSER funding, we were able to utilize that funding to support our efforts since we saw such inflation with our projects. Also, we reallocated funds from our district facility plan line. That's just a general line to address the needs of the facilities, and we do that every 5 years with the state. We develop a plan. We outline what our needs are. Those are replacing equipment, like HVAC equipment, roofs, flooring, modernizing campuses, doing the things that it takes to be responsible owners of our facilities. That is all outlined in a district facilities plan. It's a large item on an eSplosh, and so in order to complete the named projects, we pulled some money from that line item, and that means that there's some things that didn't get done, but most of our named projects have been completed. So we want to talk about the things that we were not able to finish because of the inflation and the other challenges that we dealt with. The district-wide security camera, when we initially developed that program, that project, the idea was that we would install security cameras in all of our facilities. We, based upon the projects that we had done before, estimated that project to cost $5.1 million. By the time the bids came back, it increased by 125%. Needless to say, we had to adjust. There was no way that we could absorb a 125% increase in the cost of that project. So the way that we responded to that is we reduced the scope of work. Instead of installing those cameras in all schools throughout the district, we focus on high schools and middle schools only. That means the unfinished portion of that project that will not happen with this eSplosh is that we will not be able to install cameras in all of the elementary schools and Rainy McCullers. So that is a part of a change with that. We changed the scope of work so we could still do the project, but not in the original plan. So that means that our elementary schools and Rainy McCullers will not have the updated cameras. They are still covered. They still have cameras. We're still able to monitor them. They just don't have the updated. The difference is our current camera system, you can see when someone's walking down the hall. You can see action that's taking place. With our upgrades, you can see what they're wearing. You can see if their shoes are tied. It's just very detailed. So the elementary schools and the Rainy McCullers School of the Arts at this point will not have that with our current eSplosh. The other significant adjustment that we needed to make was to our parking lot upgrades. As you go around the district, you'll notice that some of our schools don't have parking lots to support their entire staff, or their staff and their parents are parking in gravel lots or grass lots or fields. And so we plan to update all of those parking lots throughout the district. There are regulatory changes to how the county and the state addresses stormwater. That happened since the 2020 eSplosh. Because of that, it significantly increased our ability to do parking lots by about 50%. So we needed to adjust. That means that these projects were not completed. These are the schools that are impacted. That means that they may have parking lots that do not support their staff members. So some staff members are parking on the street. We also have schools that are not able to, they don't have a paved parking lot, so they're parking in gravel lots such as double churches, or they're parking in lots that have a field. And so we want to make sure that we're able to do that. But because of inflation and because of the changes since the 2020 eSplosh, these are the schools that we were not able to address. We also know that because we pulled money from the general district facility plan line, there's some facility needs that we were not able to address. So we have unaddressed facility needs that continue to go throughout our district. We have roofs that are beyond their life expectancy. We have HVAC systems that are beyond their life expectancy. And we still have some elementary schools with carpet in the classrooms. It is our goal, in order to improve air quality, we want to remove all of the carpet in the classrooms at elementary schools and only have rugs that can easily be cleaned and removed when needed. But we want to make sure that all of our schools no longer have classroom carpet at elementary schools. We also know that no matter what, we'll have some recurring needs that will continue to happen. We'll continue to need to buy band instruments and uniforms. We're able to do that with this eSplosh, and we're very proud of that, but we will continue to need to do that, as well as science equipment and technology and furniture. We're actively in a furniture replacement process at the middle school. That project is going on right now. We need to continue to do that for our elementary schools. So this is something that we'll always need to update and replace our furniture. We'll also need to continue to replace our playgrounds. Mr. Oda mentioned that we're on a 10-year replacement cycle. We need the funding to continue to do that so our playgrounds are always safe and accessible for our students. We also need to continue to update our aging bus fleet. We need to continue to do that. We've been able to continue to purchase buses with as well as other vehicles. We have a large fleet of vehicles, not just school buses. We have our warehouse vehicles, our maintenance vehicles, lots of vehicles that the district owns and operates. But our school buses are challenging to maintain. They're very expensive. So we need to make sure we have funds to keep our fleet up to date. This summer, at the very start of the school year, we experienced a significant heat wave. And some of our older buses couldn't keep up with the AC. So we had students riding in buses that didn't have AC, and that's because they're so old. So we need to continue to have the funds to replace those buses. And we'll continue to replace with the mix of diesel and propane. We want to buy more and more propane buses. It is cheaper to maintain those buses. It's cheaper to supply the fuel for them. So we want to continue to buy those buses. And of course, we need to make sure that we continue to update our school nutrition equipment. Just like at your home, freezers go out, stoves go out, those things. And unfortunately, the difference is we can't go to Home Depot and buy them. We have to build a whole freezer into the building. So those are significant projects that we need to make sure we're able to maintain. Technology will always be a recurring cost. We will never not have technology costs. We need to make sure that we're keeping our staff and students with updated laptops and devices so they can continue to do the robust programs that they're actively participating in. Our copiers and printers have to be replaced. They have a life cycle. And we always want to make sure that our infrastructure is up to date and able to keep us safe and support the technology that we have on that infrastructure. So these costs will never go away. We need to continue to have funds to support them. At this moment, we know that we have some pressing issues and needs that will need to be addressed as we continue to plan for the future. We know that we need to enhance our campus security. As we think about campus security and what that looks like in a modern school environment is not what it looked like when many of our schools were built. So we need to make sure that we're being very intentional about enhancing our school security. Always have to be focused on addressing our aging facilities and equipment, as well as addressing some of the inequities with our athletic fields. So not all of our schools across the district at high school and middle school levels have the same access to athletic fields for practice. We want to make sure that we continue to address that throughout the district. So let's talk a little bit about what it means to address enhanced security throughout our district. Security is a layered approach. So of course, we already have protocols and processes in place at all of our schools, but some of our schools, because of when they were built and what the design standards were at that time, there are things that are creating security problems for them in a modern environment that did not exist or weren't thought of when those schools were built. So this is an example of any elementary school. Many of our elementary schools were built when it was the design concept to have open breezeways as opposed to enclosed hallways. That is an outdated design concept. We don't do that anymore. And so when we have elementary schools, if you look at this elementary school, all the red areas represent an area in which it is an open and exposed breezeway. As students are traversing from class to class, they are outside. You'll notice that if you were someone who wanted to access the campus, you could come to the back of that campus, you could walk through, and you could access those students if they were changing classes. This is an old, outdated design. Unfortunately, we have lots of schools like this. And so as we continue to enhance our campus securities, we want to make sure that we are identifying those schools and developing solutions. Those solutions cost money, right? And so we need to make sure that we continue to have that. And because of our society and everything that goes on, we know that this is a top priority for us. We want to be able to focus on that our staff members and especially our students are protected to the best of our ability as appropriate for a modern school environment. We want to thank not only the citizens in your support with your tax dollars, but our eSPLOSH committee members who work hard to work with us and to give us some support and advice. If there are any members here, I saw some, if you could please stand to be recognized. Thank you. We appreciate you. And now I will turn it over to one of their representatives to speak on their behalf.
Ms. Benny Newrock, you have a question? 1 second. Ms. Buckner has a question.
Dr. Anderson, just one question about the breezeways. And they were open and exposed. I know, we have to get them done correctly, but temporarily, as of now, do we have any temporary gates or fences enclosing those breezeways so people can't just come up?
Every campus is different, and so most of our campuses are equipped with some type of fencing. It depends upon where the open breezeway is, though. And so there's some areas that a fence does not work, or else students would not be able to go easily and still be in fire code. So we have to make sure that we are complying with fire code. But if we have a situation in which we can encompass them behind a fence, most of them are. I can't think of any that don't have any, I'm just looking at Ward to verify, they don't have any fencing, but some are more exposed than others. Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay.
Good evening, Dr. Lewis, President Green, and the board members. I'm Benny Newroth, and I'm chair of the East Blast Committee. And I'm here to say to you, from the presentation you heard, you see that we are working very hard to fulfill all the promises we made in each of our SPLOST. Our motto has always been promises made, promises kept. With everything in the world, we run into some stumbling blocks or other things where we could not complete all of the projects. But we're making an effort to make sure we maintain the trust of the community and work on those projects that we asked for your vote. And speaking of vote, we want to thank the Columbus community for their continued support of the East Blast. And each time we come to you and ask you for a yes vote for SPLOST, that yes vote goes to support our students, our faculties, our staff, and our communities. So when you hear us say vote yes, realize that you're supporting students. Thank you very much.
And I just want to remind, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I just want to remind everybody that we mentioned the month prior and then at our work session 2 weeks ago about the situation we are with the collections regarding our East Blast funding. Just to recap for anybody who may not be familiar with the East Blast, different than maybe other loss in East Blast, the way the law is written, you either collect the amount that's specified in the referendum, or 5 years, whichever comes first. You complete 5 years of collections, or when you reach the amount that was specified in the referendum. Based on, and as I've been saying all along, the collections have been counterintuitive to what I think most of us thought would happen with the economy as a result of the pandemic. We've continued to see collections both at the state and local level that have run far and exceeded far what we thought they would in terms of time. At the current projections, based on what Ms. Bloodworth shared last month, we expect to reach the $189 million threshold next summer, which means we would be 9 to 10 months earlier than originally thought in 2025. So at that point, we've been sharing with the board, while that's great to collect all that, that means that we are now at the end of next month, if projections do come in as they have all the way through, it means that we would go an entire year without receiving those collections, which has its own concerns that we've been sharing with the board members along the way. So at that point, Ms. Green asked me to build a tentative plan about if we were to go forward with a new East Blast earlier, which is not unusual, not unheard of, to keep that continuation going to address some of these concerns. And one of the biggest ones I want to share is just what was mentioned. Safety and security. As Dr. Anderson shared, it's a layered approach. There's not one size that fits all schools, but there are certain things we want to do in all schools and other layers we want to add for some of our older facilities, as was mentioned. I spoke with our Principals Advisory Committee, and to a person, they said, without any prompting, what is your number one concern if we could do some of the facilities? And all of them said, safety and security. I think every principal, I can tell you every superintendent worries about that. I think all we have to do is look at what we see on the news on a regular basis. All too frequently, we're seeing schools that are faced with shooters or one thing or another. And there's no way to prevent someone totally committed, but we can deter them, we can slow them down through this layered approach. That same sentiment was echoed in a national survey of parents, educators, superintendents, and principals most recently, that safety and security of students and staff are a priority. And that's why I think that this is something that we want to take. I know the East Blos Committee of stakeholders we had represented by Ms. Newroth, our principals, all of us feel like security and safety is paramount going forward. And one of the reasons why we feel like it's important for us to consider going forward with a new East Blos to address those concerns as well as others. And so just to give you a little bit of background as to what Ms. Green had asked me to do on behalf of the board is to share a timeline. I won't go through all.
Before we do that, I do want to say thank you to Ms. Newroth for, again, chairing the East Blos committee. And we want you to answer the phone, when we come back. But I do want to share before you get started that the needs are ongoing. We kind of like glazed over that, and the principals and the parents are constantly making their list of needs and concerns because they're there in the trenches. They're in these buildings every day and they know what the needs are. We heard an amen. I'm assuming there's a bus driver. They're working under these conditions and in these environments, and when we trust that as a board, because that is our focus and our primary concern as leaders, is to listen and hear about what infrastructure is needed to make things better, what equipment, what safety protocols is needed, and all of that, especially with the technology, comes at a cost that we have been so fortunate with our community here who supports public education through the Educational Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, East Blos, as we like to refer to it. And we as Ms. Newroth said, anytime you see us coming with that request, we want a serious consideration and vote of yes, because the needs are ongoing and our students is a priority as we try to put all of these things in place along with these professionals who are working in the trenches every day to close that achievement gap, but also make an environment that's conducive for working and learning. So thank you so very much, Ms. Newroth, for all that you do for public education.
So at the direction of Ms. Green, I did provide you with this list of milestones. I'm sorry. List of milestone events along the way. One of the things we do is we have the ongoing list that we have already shared of uncompleted projects based on the inflation that was already mentioned and so on. But also we go out and ask our principals, and they'll be receiving a survey if directed by the board to move forward. They will be receiving a survey, and we will gather all the information from them, compile that into a list that we'll then present to the board and then take out to the community for feedback from the community. We always want the input of our stakeholders since we're asking them for their support. We are asking for them to come to our meetings, give us feedback and insight as to what you think is important. Then we come back again, present that and finalize the list. We then go forward with the referendum. There's an official referendum that has to be solidified and voted upon by the board, and then goes through the adoption of that. We then take that out and share that information again with the public. And then the election date that we feel like is the best targeted date would be the election in May 21st, 2024. That would be the vast majority of the people would have the opportunity to come to the election at that time to share their opinions on this. And then if we're successful, that would allow us to continue with the collection of the 1 cent sales tax without interruption. That's critically important for lots of reasons. Number one, there's a cost and of a cessation of that collection and then trying to restart it later if we were not successful on the 21st. So that's just one example of why that's important, but then it also goes into the whole idea of us having to go through the process of collecting going to setting up our Georgia Fund account, getting our bonds, if there's any major capital construction projects that we're needing bonds for, government bonds, and the whole process that would allow us then the continuation without any interruption in that. So that's where we are, and that's what the staff has put together. I do want to say again, thanks to the Citizen SPLOST Committee. I can't honestly stand up here and say that I'm very proud. This would be our third effort toward eSPLOST. We've been successful in all of our eSPLOST initiatives thanks to our stakeholders. Third in my tenure, 5 total, all total. But you can see what would not be accomplished without these eSPLOST dollars. So it's critically important for us to consider that. But I most importantly want to be able to assure everybody that what we promise we're going to do on behalf of the school district, all 53 sites and facilities, as well as the museum and library that fall under our purview. We've made promises, and we've kept those promises all the way through. I'm very proud to be able to say that, and I thank so much our Citizen SPLOST Committee for continuing to monitor that and come forward and share that with the public as well, so it's not just us saying it, but representative stakeholders as well. So thank you. Madam Chair?
Did you have anything else, Mr. Anderson? All right. All right. Ms. Chambers.
Just a couple of questions. Can we get a list of those projects that were taken care of with the ESSER dollars? And then about how much of the ESSER funds were spent instead of the eSPLOST funds?
Yes, that's easy to provide. We'll send that to you.
Okay, perfect. And you mentioned the 5-year facilities plan. I know I've asked this questions before, but is it time to update that now?
We just recently went through our review, and we passed with flying colors. We've already updated.
Okay, very good. And you sent us a copy?
When did we do the, when was it on the agenda? Was it?
The 5 years, this
Facilities
summer,
plan.
it was a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I thought so.
A couple of months ago,
Yeah.
okay. And you sent that to us? It was on, we looked at it?
It's,
Okay.
do you want the actual plan itself?
The actual plan, yes. Can you send it?
We could.
Okay.
It's
huge.
It's huge.
No, not a hard copy,
No.
Digital. We've gotten it before. If
So
you send it
the
to
current
us.
process, it lives inside of Godot's database. And so it's not something that we can easily send. We will work on, we'll figure out a way.
To link it.
We will work on that because it's inside, it's in the database. So you kind of have to dig through the database. We will find a way to get it to you. It's not just something we can download, right? It's a full database, but we can find a way. If nothing else, we'll create a summary that outlines what the plan is.
Okay, that sounds good. And then it seems like a lot of what we are needing is dependent upon security. Do we have a current safety and security plan? And does it include exactly what we're lacking as a school district? Because that will directly be related.
We have what we think. We are in the process of having an actual security expert come and show us where our most vulnerable places are by site. And we'll work on getting that so we can make sure we're, again, layered. I want everybody to understand it's not any one thing. It's a layered approach depending on, so it'd be dependent on the school site.
Absolutely, and I'm assuming that that consultant will be able to provide us with some type of dollar figure on how much it's gonna cost for us to get the safety and security up to par.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay, let's see. And Janice may have given this to us, but a lot of times we approve things in chunks. Is there one document that you can send me on how we spent that $190 million that we've collected thus far?
I'll be working on a presentation for the January board.
And it'll have all of that, exactly how we spent everything.
Well, we haven't spent it all, but what our plan is and what we have spent and what our plan is for the rest of the funds.
Perfect, sounds good. Those are my questions. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you.
It's more for Ms. Bloodworth too. So, And you probably know because I emailed you last night, but I hadn't had a chance to look back at them. I was curious with the bond money that we took out to help with some of the expenses ahead of collection, since we are collecting so much earlier, have we paid off more of our debt?
We're not permitted to do that. It's not
It
permissible.
won't let you make any
No,
advance
it's a 10-year non-call, or is it 10-year? 5-year non-call.
It's a prepayment penalty.
There's no benefit to it, yeah.
And is it always like that?
Bonds under, as we were advised today, that bonds under 10 years typically are not callable, and so we can't pay them off early like that.
Okay, thank you.
But one thing to keep in mind, that the interest rates that we're earning on those funds at this point is pretty much matching the amount that we are having to pay.
For clarity's sake, so basically we're able to service that note with the interest that we're earning for the most part? Okay, sounds good.
Any other questions? Thank you so much. Now we will move into our public agenda. We do have 2 citizens signed up to speak to us, and I will call you in the order that you're listed: Jacqueline Moffitt, and then Sadia Abdullah. And while Ms. Moffitt is making her way, I will read our background and rationale. All official meetings of the Board of Education shall be open to the press and the public. However, the board may meet in executive session. Speakers' remarks should be directed to the board and shall be limited to 5 minutes each person. Citizens are encouraged to address items on the board agenda or to initiate presentation of issues appropriate for school board consideration. If an individual desires to speak, they may contact the superintendent's office to be placed on the agenda. The board meeting or the work session is not the appropriate place to address either criticism of particular employees or individual parent complaints when such complaints or issues have not been first addressed to the attention of the appropriate administrator for resolution. Citizens are encouraged to follow our normal channels to address individual parent complaints or problems. Ms. Moffitt?
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Good evening, everybody. To piggyback on the video that we saw earlier with the little boy asking how much is his life worth, I want to ask you guys, what is the value of your drivers and your monitors on the school buses every day? Starting with our pay, when will the next raise be implemented, and what would be the percentage, and who would benefit from it? And why do the monitors get paid out of a contracted form out instead of out of the department as the same department as the drivers? And another question. A while back, when I first started with the Muscogee County School Transportation, I was told that bus drivers and monitors were included in the teacher's retirement amount. But yes, that's what I was told. I'm just telling you what I was told. And since I've come, full circle, that one person was able to cut that off, and I want to know why. Why was that changed? Oh, okay. Well, it was changed. So it wasn't? Okay. Because now, and we had a shortage of bus drivers and monitors, and the pay is the biggest thing. The pay is the biggest thing. If we could come up with an amount to show your bus drivers and monitors that they are important, that they are needed, and that they are appreciated for getting up 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning to come and take our precious cargo to and from school safely as we can. They need to know that, and it need to be proven to them and given to them as soon as you can, because people are not staying in the bus. They're not staying there. They come in, see what's going on, all the things that we have to go through with the students, not all the students, but most of the students, And it's like, no, this is not worth me coming here every day to get abused like this because the money is not enough. And one last thing, the package, the retirement package that we are being offered, we are being offered $10.50 per month for as long as we work there. Multiply that times 20 years. Can somebody actually survive off of that? If somebody can figure that out for me, please tell me, because I don't see it. I'm here to tell you, I asked you, change the salaries, get a better retirement plan, because you can get a lot more with sugar than you can with vinegar. And right now, our salaries and our benefit package for retirement is vinegar. So we need to turn that around. Whatever you need to do to turn it around, please turn around if you're going to keep employees, faithful employees. Why do we come to work every day? Because we love our jobs and we love our students. But we will also love to get a nice paycheck and a nice retirement package in the process. And that's all I got for this time. I'll be back again with the rest of it because I got some more. I talked to Ms. Buckner today.
You still have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
No, it's more than a minute, it's 3 pages, boo. But I just, I'm heartbroken because you've got great people that's driving these buses and keeping these kids safe to and from school. You got drivers that are taking 2 and 3 routes because of the shortage, because they're not being paid. I don't understand. If we are needed, we are priceless too. We need to be shown that we're priceless because right now we're not. And I heard about the parking lots and the security and all like that. Our bus lot is not secured. One man was sleeping on the bus one morning when one of the drivers came because there's no security, nowhere. People come back from trips late at night, no security. Somebody could be in there and knock them over the head or whatever. What are we gonna do about that? We don't have a parking lot. We don't have any of that. I haven't heard anybody up there say anything about the bus yard or the drivers or the monitors and what's gonna be done for them. So can somebody please help me out? And I'm sorry for getting emotional, but I love these people. They're good people. Yes, they come and they do their job and they do it well, and they need to be paid well. And we need a retirement package so you can dabble it in front of a couple of people and say, ooh, well, dang, let's go over there. We need to work over there. They got a good retirement package. That would help. I'm done.
Thank you, Ms. Moffitt. And I can speak on behalf of the board to make sure that the bus drivers, the nutrition division, all of our employees are valuable, and they are valued. There is absolutely no way that the public school system could operate without you and your colleagues and every single person that touched the lives of children and all of the many different aspects that it takes to operate a school system. So I just want you to be clear on that. And we don't mind the emotion and the passion because we share that, and I can assure you that for at least 18 years, our legislative priority has been talking about what you're emotional about as far as the retirement compensation for our classified employees. I don't know about the miscommunication that happened about the classified employees receiving the teacher retirement.
That's never been.
Pension. I don't know. That should not have been communicated that way. It has never been that way, but it has been a legislative priority every year because it's a priority for us, and we keep it on the list, and we keep sending it to Atlanta when our legislative delegation goes back every year about that because, you know, you said $10, but it may add up to $400 a month for retirement for somebody who's dedicated 20, 30, 40 years in the cafeteria or on the buses or as a custodian. And it's really criminal.
It is.
To be honest with you. And that's me speaking as Pat right now. But we do appreciate the effort and all that you do. And it has been on our legislative priority ever since to improve those packages. And I do want to say that participation does matter. And because the pay is nowhere near, it's a fraction of what certified teachers make or any certified employees, that we don't have the participation for the classified group either in the retirement that does exist, because you have to make a choice. Am I going to, take some additional money out of my check that's already small to invest additionally into my retirement, or am I going to, not invest? And so the participation in that is also low. And so we do thank you again for all that you do. And I know Dr. Lewis or somebody need to talk about those pay raises.
Well, so we're gonna, let me just, if I may, just when you get done, I'll share that.
Okay, and then we got Ms. Buckner.
So let me just share with you, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised, I hope pleasantly surprised, but I recommended, and the board has approved, for monitors to receive a raise that was not given by the state, but they are going to be passing that along to you all. Okay, so you will be receiving that in, I believe, this month's check. And it'll be retroactive back to July 1st for all of our bus monitors, as well as for our drivers, that additional amount and so on. In addition to, I hear what you're saying about the retirement package. I absolutely agree with you. As Ms. Green has said, we are trying to legislate something different going forward. I can't go into a lot of detail right now, but I'm working on something with our finance people about an option that might come forward. I have to talk to the board about, and we'll go from there. Can't promise anything. Don't want to go on record as promising, but I'm working on something that might be an opportunity that we'd like to afford you and other people in different jobs like yours. That would be an opportunity for you to have a better retirement package separate from what the state is doing, or in addition to what the state is doing. And we'll talk more about that after it's all been costed out and see if it's even possible. But we recognize that. And I absolutely agree with you that people who are working hard, these jobs deserve a decent retirement for the time that's put in working with our students. We've done that for our bus drivers in terms of their salary. Unfortunately, they're on the same retirement schedule, so we've got to do something there. So it would be a comprehensive effort for all of our classified people. Yes. And that's why we have to look at it and see what we can do as far as a plan going forward, cost it out, see what we can afford to do. But it's not going unnoticed or unconsidered because we are trying to work on what we can do going forward to make that happen. And we'll talk more about that once we get everything in place. But I recognize and appreciate what you do. I know I speak for all the people on this board. They are very highly committed to trying to do what they can for all employees. But as far as the salary, we are passing that along to our that increase based on what the board approved for us to do, and they will be seeing that in staggered phases. But your rollout will be this month, as I understand from Ms. Bloodworth.
Okay, thank you. And for the final question, typically when we're talking about improvements with paving and security and fences, we're talking about all facilities, and that would definitely include the bus yard. We're talking about all facilities that they may have highlighted schools for some reason, but it's all facilities. And so the bus yard there has been improvement since I've been on the board because it was on previous SPLOS. And so that's just a continuation. Whatever is going on in other buildings and facilities, it's including all of schools and the non-schools, all of the buildings for the Muscogee County School District. Ms. Buckner.
Yep. I just want to take this opportunity to talk again to you. We talked today. We were at the beauty shop together. But, and you said for me to say the same things over. You see, Mrs. Green and Dr. Lewis said the same thing that I said to you. They used the same terms, classified, the same terms about the how things are set with the state. But I did advise you also to talk to your state representatives.
Which one?
Teddy Reese, all of them.
All of them.
All of them. These are the ones who set the guidelines. And so your state representatives, the ones who make these rules, who define the salaries, these are the ones that you need to talk to. However, you will notice that Dr. Lewis did say, and I expressed to you, that oftentimes salaries are, increases are given to teachers. And this board and the superintendent make those raises available to all employees, the classified employees as well. So we are very concerned with your fate because, as Mrs. Green said, each and every year on our legislative priorities, these are, you remember I told you these were the things that we want the state to do. And that's on the list each and every year. And Ms. Green said something about the salaries being sometimes $400 for employees. But by the time you take your insurance out, it probably is $10 because you still have to pay the state insurance, which is considerable for those. So it probably is of $10 or $20. But we're working on it, and Dr. Lewis says he's working on something, but no promises. But we still, we want you to know that we understand, we hear you, and we're trying to work on it.
Thank you. Just remember, what is the value of your drivers and your monitors?
Thank you so much, Ms. Chambers.
Yes, I just have a couple of comments and a request. I think that anytime we have a segment of the organization that feels like they're not a part of the we, creating we, then we need to definitely look into it. But I know that we have given a couple of raises, I know since I've been on the board. And I wanted to see if we could get, it can be an email, but just a breakdown of what the bus drivers are offered. Where are they at this point? And then how do they work? Because from my understanding, they don't get a full 40-hour salary. So if we could just get an update so that we as a board really know what that means, what the paycheck means for a bus driver, a average bus driver. I know it would depend on how many hours, whether they're picking up sports events or things of that nature. But in my mind, I'm just trying to picture if I were a bus driver or a monitor, how much am I taking home? And I do understand that a lot of things like retirement and things of that nature happen at the state level, but is there anything we can do locally, like incentives for longevity or incentives for picking up extra shifts or anything else, trips or things like that? What can we do here locally, if anything, to sort of help with some of the concerns that were brought up today? And those were, I think that was it. And I want to say to you personally, I know it's been said by a couple of people who've spoken before me, but every joint supplies. So the bus drivers, monitors, teachers, cafeteria workers are all equally important because it takes all of us, in order for us to educate our children. So thank you for what you do, and I want you to know that you guys are valued, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Abdullah is not here. All right, we're moving into our action agenda, board members. 6.01, superintendent is asking for approval of the naming of the gymnasium at Veterans Memorial Middle School in honor of Coach Jay Wilson. That's been motioned by Mr. Cantrell, second by Ms. Chambers. Are there any questions? We're ready to vote now. All right, that item passes. Item 6.02 is the contract to award construction manager to Freeman and Associates for Phase 4 of middle school athletic field upgrades. Motion by Ms. Chambers, second by Mr. Cantrell. Are there any questions? We're ready to vote now. That item passes. Next item, 6.03. Superintendent is recommending approval to replace the cooler freezer Forest Road Elementary School. Motion by Ms. Jackson. Ms. Buckner, second by Ms. Jackson. Are there any questions? We're ready to vote now. That item passes. Final item on the action agenda, 6.04, is the contractor for the refreezer replacement at Forest Road. That is motion by Ms. Frey, second by Ms. Buckner. Are there any questions? The recommendation is for B&B Gordy Construction. We're ready to vote now. Item passes. The consent agenda. Motion by Ms. Buckner, second by Ms. Frey. Are there any questions? Anybody want any explanation additionally on anything else? These items were thoroughly discussed 2 weeks ago. We are ready to vote now. As always, we want to say thank you to our donors who are listed under item 7.16, who support our schools and our students. We thank you so very much for your investment in our children, and that consent agenda passes. All right, we do have, before we go, we're going to have a word from Dr. Lewis.
Yes, there had been a board request regarding an update on transportation, so Dr. Anderson is going to provide that for you now, and then I have a few announcements, and we'll.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Good evening again. So I want to give you an update on transportation, a little bit of background on how we got to where we are over the past couple of years, what we've been focusing on. So about 2 years ago when I started, we did a focus group in early 2022 with our parents to identify some of the challenges with transportation. They identified 5 areas that we needed to focus on: improving communication, the challenges with really early bus stop times, inaccurate bus passes, long bus rides, and the magnet shuttle stop. That's the information that we received from the parent focus group, and transportation started working to improve upon those areas. The response to that feedback is, you may recall the Real Bus Pass campaign. That happened in early 2022, in which we issued bus passes which told you when the bus would actually arrive. That was a huge initiative because we had bus passes that were based upon if we were fully staffed and if there was a bus driver for every single route when the bus would get there. But we completely overhauled the system so parents received the bus passes when those students would actually arrive, and that was to improve the communication. We also eliminated the magnet shuttle stop. We have now magnet direct routes, so you go directly from your house to your magnet school. That is challenging. It takes more staff to do that. There's a reason why we had the magnet shuttle stop. However, it was not favorable in our community, and so we did away with that, but it takes more staff to take those students directly from their house to their magnet school. Right now, our student with the longest magnet route, they live 17 miles away from their school. That's a long way. Even if we picked them up directly from home and went straight to their school, that's a long way. Increased communication. So we heard them. They were not receiving information in a timely enough manner to make adjustments, so we've been really focused on increasing communication, whether that's because we are doing social media posts when we have delays because of weather, or when a couple of weeks ago, we had a significant weather issue in the area. Rain, accidents all over the place. At one point, over 50% of our bus drivers reported that they were stuck in traffic. So we sent out a robocall to our parents to let them know that we were going to be impacted and how that happened. We've been able to communicate when a bus driver is out. We've been trying to have our schools send out emails to our parents about the immediate impact, as well as what the resolution is once we have a resolution. And so there's been a significant increase in communication. However, more communication does not mean more issues. We're just communicating more. It does not mean that we're having more issues. We've always had weather, we've always had traffic, we've always had people call in sick, but now we're communicating that out and how it impacts you and what our proposed solution is to the issue, but it does not mean we're having more issues. The other thing, we set some goals. Based upon the feedback, we set 3 primary goals. Our goal is that all bus routes are 75 minutes or less, that we have no AM pickup time before 6 a.m., no PM drop-off time after 5:30 p.m. This is what transportation was actively working on, meeting these goals, improving the experience for our students. At the same time that transportation was working on these, there was a huge initiative that I'm sure you remember from earlier this year of changing the bell schedule. While that initiative was not directly related around transportation, a potential impact of this initiative was that it might improve transportation. So you remember the idea with that was supporting the whole child. And so we're gonna go through some slides really quickly that you've seen before. We will focus on supporting the whole child. We focus on circadian rhythm and how those students are impacted. So you've seen this lots of times before. So the purpose of that initiative was to provide an environment that allowed our students to be successful based upon their school start time. We knew that there were some possible impacts to students. There were 4 primary impacts that we focused on. One of them was the impact to student transportation, but that was not the reason why administration brought this initiative. It was just one possible impact of this initiative. You remember seeing this slide about how our students are impacted, 60% of our students. This is the same exact slide from last school year. And so as of spring 2023, when you saw this slide, those were the numbers of students who were picked up before 6 a.m., et cetera, et cetera. So we made sure that we were able to identify if we had the same exact parameters last year as this year, that those things would be at 0. That was a very important thing. But we always said transportation and everything in the school system fluctuates. We can make predictions, but we can make forecasts, but we cannot accurately predict the future. But if everything was the same, that's where we would be. So let's look at what's changed between spring 2023 and this 2023-24 school year. At the start of the last school year in August 2022, we had 38 new drivers ready to start. At the start of this school year, we only had 23. That's significant. Drivers in training through November, so this time last year, we had 84 drivers actively going through training through November. This year, only 39. Absenteeism, and we cannot figure out why this has gone up so much. 5.6% this year compared to 3.8%. We always have bus drivers who call in. That happens. Just like we have teachers who call in, we always have absenteeism, but for whatever reason, we have seen a significant increase this school year. We were hit hard with COVID in the beginning of the school year. We get hit hard. We have lots of staff members who are out on short-term leave. We have surgeries that are planned. We have lots of things that happen. We have an aging staff, and so with that comes different challenges. And so for whatever reason, this year we have lots of staff members who are not able to come to work on a regular basis, and we're working through those challenges, which is one reason why there's a lot more communication. Not necessarily more issues. Absenteeism is always an issue, but a lot more communication. The other changes, we've added 4 additional pre-K sites this year, which is a great thing for our community, a great thing for our school district. It does create another layer of challenges that we have to work through. 162 additional SPED stops this year. And remember, for our SPED students, that is a door-to-door experience. It is a very personalized experience for those students. We could drive to their home, we arrange what that process looks like for them, and we take them to their school. 162 additional stops this year. And then, of course, the new residential areas. We've talked about those new residential areas that are happening in the northern part of our county, to the west, the northwest, as well as to the east, and what that looks like. As those houses are built and people move in, they request transportation, whether they are moving from another part of the county or if they're moving new to our county, they request transportation. One school last week, not last week because we were on vacation, the week before that, one school had 10 new enrollees based upon the area. So, want to give you this a little hard to understand, but just work with me for a little while. That top portion there, the triangle, that is a student who just moved into a newly built house out in Ubatoy. They are zoned for Aaron Cone. It is 17.2 miles from their house to Aaron Cone. If there was an elementary school student in that house, there would be 18 miles to Matthews, the zone school, 23 miles to Shaw, their zone school. If we picked that student up directly from their house and made no stops and drove directly to school, that's still a long bus ride. And we know that's not what happens. There's another student. This request came in right before Thanksgiving. They just bought a house in the northwestern portion of our community. Well, it's not a brand new house, but it is a very nice house. I went out there. 18.2 miles away from Northside. 18.2 miles. And then 16.8 miles to Double Churches. Again, very long rides, but as those areas continue to grow, as those houses are delivered and families move in, they are requesting transportation. That significantly impacts our ability. But let's look at where we are now. We are very proud at night. We had 3 of our TED staff members here supporting Ms. Moffitt today, and I'm sad they're not here to see these numbers, but we are really proud of the progress we've been able to make. So that second column shows where we were spring 2023, and the last column shows where we are now. As of today, even though we have not met our goal, we are still working towards it, and I am so proud of the work that they've been able to do. We only have 30 students who have a bus stop time before 6 a.m. 490 are arriving to school 15 minutes or more after the bell. 400 are still on campus 15 minutes, and then only 150 are home after 5:30. Those numbers, we would like for them to be 0. They are not, but look at the progress we have made thus far. I'm very proud of the work of the Transportation Department, hardworking, dedicated staff members doing all they can to get our students to school safe and on time. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that update. I must say that even though my child doesn't ride the bus, I do appreciate all the calls and the communication. I think that's great, so parents will know what's going on. And the schools can be, are obviously being prepared to receive those students. Dr. Lewis?
And we're still hiring. So if there are people out there who'd like to be a bus driver, please consider working for us. We'd love to have you join the team. Just very quickly, a couple things. Want to just remind everybody that the launch of our new website takes place this Friday, December 1st. We'll have our new website up and running, so hope everybody will take advantage of that and look at that, peruse that at your leisure. We want to wish the very best of luck to Carver. They are in the semifinals for the state football championship this coming Friday at Otis Spencer, 7 o'clock. Also, just a reminder that next month we have a combined meeting because of the holidays. It'll be a combined meeting of work session and meeting together on Monday, December 11th. So just be aware of that. It's a combined meeting. And then I'm sorry? That meeting will start, I believe it's at 5 o'clock. I'd like to congratulate the newly Dr. Kia Chambers on her doctorate. And would also like to recognize Victoria Thomas. You may recognize her. She is our CTAE director. I received a very nice letter here from State Superintendent Richard Woods. I am writing to inform you that I have appointed Ms. Victoria Thomas, the Muscogee County School District's Director of Career, Technical, and Agricultural Education, to serve a 2-year term on the State Career and Technical Education Advisory Commission for the state of Georgia. This appointment is in recognition of Ms. Thomas's exceptional work to expand CTA opportunities for students in Muscogee County and her strong leadership in preparing students for life. And it goes on to say what a great job she does, which we all know. But congratulations to Victoria on that appointment. And that is all I have, Madam Chair.
And we're going to go out on a... Okay.
Okay, it's just a question about the transportation. With the drivers in training, you can email me this, you don't have to do it right now. But we had 82 maybe and 60, or 82 and 32, I don't know, the two numbers. How many of those are we actually retaining? You know, because we're paying for their CDL, we're paying for all of that. I was just wondering how that was working.
The turnover.
Yeah.
I can answer that for you.
Okay.
So I don't know the exact number, but we have a larger percentage who we retain than we lose. Because we pay for the CDL and we pay during the training process, there are some people who take advantage of that and then go work somewhere else. However, we don't want to lose the people who we get. So out of a class of 20, 18 of them will be on buses. Most of them come back after they finish their course.
So since fall of last year, that program, we've retained approximately 90 new bus drivers? Because if it was 80 and 30, so we have 90, so that would be more, okay, more new hires than the original amount of, yeah, because they're drivers in training and they're actually retaining. I was just looking at the new hires from last year and this year, that was quite a few. I mean, not a ton. And then the drivers in training, if you add all four of those numbers together, that's a pretty significant number.
Oh, yes. So what you did not see are retirements, our resignations. And
Yeah,
those
I know.
things.
That's
So,
why I didn't know how many of those actually have been retained for longer than 6 months or a year. That's what I was looking at.
I can give you the breakdown and to include our retirements and resignations that we have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's, I was going to email, sorry. But that's in line with a question I had, because you showed the difference in those two, but just the difference in our total number of drivers from one period to the next and how many we have.
Overall, we're still down. So we still have not recovered to pre-pandemic numbers. Mm-hmm.
And we're going to send everyone out on a high note here, no pun intended. But some of you may have been familiar that Foreigner, the group Foreigner, came through Columbus not too long ago, and they accompanied the Spencer Chorus. But we have a clip from that concert where Spencer High School's chorus was featured with Foreigner. So we'll send you out with that, and congratulations to them as well.
And so I need a motion for an executive session for student disciplinary appeal. Motion by Ms. Frey, second by Ms. Jackson. All in favor to go into executive session for student appeal, disciplinary appeal. Did I see all the hands? All right, that passes.
Go Greenway.
Go Tigers. Enjoy the clip.
Show Hands up.